welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a spend a bookish evening with me. I have not filmed in the evening in a while. I used to film in the evenings all the time, like when I started my channel. Also, like, forget the lighting, like I'm really not going to turn the overhead light on. Like it's the evening, okay? It's the vibe, so it just doesn't make sense for there to be a big bright light. And this is honestly like how I read, with like my Anita Library light overhead, and then I'll have like my book here, and it just, the light is literally right on the book. So this is very realistic, okay? I'm not gonna turn on the charm for you guys today. This is literally my vibe. So yeah, I normally will in the evenings, like I'll get off of work, you know, get situated, have the dinner, whatever. Sometimes I shower in the evening, sometimes I shower in the morning. But today I showered in the evening, put on my cozy pajamas. Normally I would have my scarf on, but I figured like I could do that for you guys. Like at least not have my scarf on. And my glasses, I broke my like big rectangular nerdy glasses. Like one of the screws came out. They're not like irreparably broken, but one of the screws came out and I have to order some new ones. So I'm down to these, which are fine. It's literally the same prescription. But anywho, yeah, so today I have started Rosewater by Liv Little. I've only listened to it on audio, and I'm up to chapter 8 on page 69, no pun intended. But I was working, regrettably I was working while I was listening to the audio, and I was like in and out of like paying attention to it. So therefore, like, I don't think I gave this the attention it deserves. So that's why, like, I'm not gonna have the audio on right now. I'm gonna just try to like read it and like catch back up to the story or whatever, because this is on my list of books that I want to read in 2025. I think I had 10 books and this is one of them. So I really want to get into it. I know, and I read the synopsis on the back on that video, but I definitely do remember seeing the main female character, how she got down bad, and like, you know, how she's trying to like pull herself up from her bootstraps. Seems to be quite I don't want to say emotional like in an icky way, because sometimes people use like the word emotional, like, oh, you're emotional, as like a slur almost, but I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying like her emotions are like very heightened because she's like probably in an anxious place. She's got a lot going on and she's like very like antsy, jumpy, you know, and like snippy, snappy, and she's just like worried, you know what I mean? So that's literally all I remember so far about it. And there's a girl and she likes this girl, and things are not what she thinks they are. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna read a little bit of that. But also, like, I was on a Bookstagram earlier, and one of the ladies that I follow on there, I think her name is Melanin and Manuscripts, she posts a lot of urban fiction. And I also saw this book on Chocolate Covered Pages. I think I saw that on this book on her page on her YouTube, and it's called The Product of the Street by E. Bowser, and it's on KU, and I have it downloaded, right? And on Melanin Manuscripts Instagram, there was like a post of like a sentence or like a line from one of the books in the series, Product of the Street, and I was like, I want to read that immediately, if not sooner, like immediately. And I have it on my Kindle, so I'm thinking, and like I said, like, this one's cool, but I think I might, I'm not gonna DNF it obviously, but like I think I might pick up this one first, because I'm telling you, the urban romances grip me immediately, and that one line gripped me immediately. I'm not gonna go follow her to see what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it. Go follow her. I'll leave her Instagram link down below, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and open that one up. So let's get into it. I might like play some music or something over me reading, but I'm really excited. Let me see how long this is. Oh wait, am I downloading it? No. Oh, okay, it's already downloaded. This will be my first book by E. Bowser. It says it is 333 pages, typically takes 6 hours 39 minutes. Okay, cool. Book 1 of 5 in the series. I remember I said in my things that intimidate me, like bookish things that intimidate me video, I said series intimidate me, not urban fiction, not urban romance. Those don't intimidate me. I'll be into it, except for ethic, but y'all know I'm not about to read that, like, no time soon. I'm not reading ethic, not because it's long, just because I don't trust Ashley Antoinette. But anywho, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this, and hopefully, oh, okay, I'll be back when I need a break. Girl, okay, so boom. What? I'm on page 7. What? Oh Lord. Listen. No. I could never, like, I don't have a sister, but the main character in this book, well, she's not the main character. I don't know, girl. I'm only on page 9. But one of the characters in the book is telling her sister about, like, this night that she had when she was playing poker or whatever. And I just don't believe that I would be able to, like, tell my sister, like, my family member, the details of the evening, right? Like, oh, I just got to the end of chapter 2 and this is just absurd, because what are you even talking about? Like, have you read this? Have any of you read, what is this, Product of the Streets? Have you read this? Because I knew this might not be the best book to do like a reading vlog style situation on, but this was what I was in the mood for. I was in the mood for, like, this is easy reading to me, like urban romance, urban fiction, easy cozy reading for me, like, but I don't know, dude. This is, I'm here for it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very here for it. But I think, let me see, what time is it? Ooh, it's only 7:30. Okay, let's go make a drink. I'm on page 23. I just started chapter 3 of Product of the Streets. And I'm pretty sure this guy is more, there's more to him than what meets the eye. I don't know what's like on the back of the book. I didn't read the synopsis. I literally got this book based off of like a recommendation, like I said, from Melanin and Manuscripts and chocolate cover pages. So yeah, I don't know. Beyond what they said, girl, I don't know what this is about, but I'm learning what I like about urban reads, and it's just a little bit of rough around the edges, a little bit of danger, a little bit of bad boy. You get me? Like, in real life, like, no, but in a book, yes, like, yes. So I'm very much here for it, and it's very entertaining. Like, if you're in a reading slump, pick up an urban fiction book, more specifically an urban romance. That will wake you up, sis, like, for sure. But I'm gonna go get me a beverage and I'll be right back. You guys, number one, it has been like several days. I want to say like 4 days, maybe 3 days since I started reading Product of the Street. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the reading vlog, so I'm just gonna have to like change the intro or whatever, because I'm not reading this with an audience, okay? It's just it's too much. Maybe like, because I went into this blind, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a little cutesy wootsy, maybe not cutesy wootsy, but it's gonna be like entertaining. I'm not there yet with y'all to share my reading experience with this book, but I will say that like I'm only on page, where am I? I'm at 18% in on page 59. And I will say like the beginning was definitely gripping. It was entertaining. It was funny. It was what I needed. Okay, this has been a week from another dimension, all right, for me. And I was like, I really need something to like pick me up and just take me to another world or whatever, and just like be pure entertainment. And that's what this book gave me, like right off the bat. But then there was like a little pocket of it that got into a realm that I'm very like unfamiliar with, and I just didn't understand like the gravity of like what was happening. I mean, I kind of, it can be implied, but I don't care about that. Like, I did not pick up this book to like learn the ins and outs of like the streets. Granted, the name of the book is called Product of the Streets, but I was expecting a little bit more like drama of like the romantic nature. Like, I'm thinking Demon's Dream has ruined me, okay? Demon's Dream has ruined me. So I'm thinking like, you know, we know what they do, but I don't just see what you do. I don't need to know like that much, you know? Like, that's what I'm expecting with like mostly like romance and like family drama and stuff. But that wasn't what I was particularly getting. And then when I'm reading those parts, I guess very unentertaining, because I'm just like, and it's not fun to share with you guys as well. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I haven't read much more of that, but I'm getting ready to do that now because it is Friday. I am wearing my favorite outfit. If you guys don't know, this is like my teddy bear like hoodie, and then like these like same color pants, and this is like the coziest thing ever. This is my favorite outfit. I love when like it's the cooler weather that I can just wear this, but not too cold that I don't have to wear like a coat. And like, this is a vibe. I got this on sale at like one of those like sports stores or like athletic stores. Like, it wasn't Finish Line or whatever, but it was one of those, you know what I mean? Anywho, that's where I'm at with Product of the Street. But as I was saying earlier, I kind of had like a week, girl, like exhausted doesn't even begin to cover it. And I have not been to the bookstore, I feel like, all year. If I did go, it was to pick up one book, and then I literally left. It was to get I've reorganized my shelves and I don't know where I put everything, but it was to get the new cover of Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop. I read that on KU, I believe, and I didn't have a physical copy. I didn't necessarily plan on getting a physical copy, but I really did enjoy that book. And now that they have like the new cover, and it was in Barnes & Noble, I just had to go out and get it. So I think that was the one time I went to the bookstore since like the new year. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the books that I got. I was in bed yesterday on my phone and just like browsing through like some of the books that were on my like want to read list, and Barnes & Noble online said they had everything that I wanted except for one book. What they said, they had it online, but when I went in the store they didn't have it, and I was like, they probably had one copy. And from last night till the time that I went, which was the evening time, they probably sold out. Speaking of which, today was my first time going to Barnes & Noble in the evening on a Friday night, and it was such a vibe. Like normally I'll go like during the middle of the week, like if I'm off work or something, or like I'll go, you know, Saturday at like 2 o'clock when everybody goes, you know what I mean? But only the real book lovers are going to spend their Friday night at the bookstore, like just browsing leisurely, like no rush. It's not like crazy loud, there's not a crazy line. Like it was such a vibe. It was such a vibe, and I'm just like looking forward to now like shifting my book shopping time to the evenings on the weekend, because that was what I needed. Like I went for that like euphoric like shopping experience to get like some new little bookies, and I'll say that I succeeded. I also plan on going to the library tomorrow morning. I know Saturdays and Sundays at the library is probably like, well, probably not Sundays, but Saturdays kind of like busy, but I'm okay with that. I just haven't been to the library in a couple of months and I'm tripping. Anyways, let's get to the blog. I've literally, and not the blog, the book haul. I've been talking for forever. So this is the bag that I bring with me every time I go to Barnes & Noble because I love it and help the planet. So let's see what I got. All right, first up, I got Junie by Erin, Crosby, Eckstine. I think this one just came out on the 4th, but I'm not going to read the whole blurb. I mean the whole thing, but I'm just going to read the little blurb at the top. It says, a young girl must face a life-altering decision after awakening her sister's ghost, navigating truths about love, friendship, and power as the Civil War looms. And I am very much into like Black historical fiction. Very much into it. It can be pretty deep, but every time I like, those are the books that are calling to me right now. I'm into Black historical fiction. I'm into like a family saga, and just like uncovering secrets and stuff like that. Like heroes, like unsung heroes that we haven't heard about. And this cover is gorgeous. I haven't read a book about the Civil War. Obviously I'm very familiar with the Civil War, but I'm interested to see how I will feel like experiencing it through the historical fiction like lens and experience. Hopefully, let me see, I literally read nothing about this book. I just remember like, I think seeing it, reading the blurb. I probably read like the inside, but you guys know me. Once I buy the book, I'm probably not going to read the blurb unless it's for you guys, or like the synopsis. I might read like, there's quotes on the back. So if I want to see the vibe, I'll read the quotes on the back. But as far as like the synopsis, I'm not going to read it. Ooh, one of them, Diane Marie Brown, the author of Black Candlewoman, says this is propulsive and haunting. Young Junie takes on the many burdens handed to her while reaching for the hope she wasn't meant to have. Erin Swan, the author of Walk the Vanished Earth, says Junie is the beating heart of this powerful and moving coming-of-age novel, insisting on her right to language, love, and a life on her own terms. Rich in historical detail and packed with suspense, this is a story of survival I will not forget. Oh, that, like, the fact that it says like rich in historical detail makes me think of Sadika Johnson's Yellow Wife. It makes me think of, what is that other book that I read recently? Not The House of Eve. Where did it get? Take My Hand. That's also rich in historical detail, historical like facts, based upon real people's real accounts. And I am loving that of historical fiction, like inspired by true events type deal, not just the time frame, but inspired by like actual people and actual events in history, in Black history. So I'm looking to see if this book kind of does that. Let's get the receipt out of there. Okay, you don't need to know. You don't need to know the damage, all right? But I got some points. I guess I kind of just spill the tea. If you're familiar with Barnes & Noble's reward system, if I earn points, you already know kind of how much I spent. And if you read books, like these are hardcovers, but they're goodies. Okay, so another Black historical fiction I got is Harlem Rhapsody. And this, I don't know if it's like a love story, but Harlem, historical fiction, you already know what it's giving, or what it's like making me think of, because it is literally one of my favorite books of all times. It is Love Song for Ricky Wilde. So at this point, because of Love Song, I don't read anything about Harlem, okay? I'm gonna get the vibes. So this blurb says, she found the literary voices that would inspire the world. This is the extraordinary story of the woman who ignited the Harlem Renaissance. Aha! So this is, like I was saying, I love, based upon a real person in real history, and it's just got like a fiction spin on it to make it more like relatable to like pea-brain readers like me. But I'm really looking forward to it. This one has a bunch of blurbs on the back. It says one of the best books of the year. Someone else says a triumph, exquisite storytelling, an irresistible story of passion and ambition. Baby, this is gonna give Love Song. I know it is. I know it. And I plan on rereading Love Song very soon. Like I need to get back into that world, into that space, and hopefully, like, I think I'm gonna read this one first, just so that like I don't ruin it by like living a love song for Ricky Wilde all over again. But I'm really excited about that one. That was probably the first book that I put on my want to read list. Next, I have Let Us March On by Shara Moon. Let's see, this blurb, or the quick little snippet at the top, says a stirring novel inspired by the life of unsung heroine and real life crusader Lizzie McDuffie, who was a maid in Franklin D. Roosevelt's White House, in Franklin D. Roosevelt's White House spearheaded the civil rights movement of her time. I have never heard of Lizzie McDuffie, I don't believe. And this kind of is giving, in a way, I haven't read it yet, but it is making me think of The Personal Librarian. It's making me think of The Personal Librarian, just because it is a Black woman living in like Jim Crow South. Is it South? I mean, yeah. No, wait, this is the White House. Is DC the South? I think it's right on that line. Depending on who you ask, DC might be the South, because Virginia is definitely the South, and it's between Maryland and Virginia. Let me know. Is DC the South? Anyways, but it's making me think of The Personal Librarian. You have like a Black woman in like a powerful white man's space, and she makes a revolutionary change. So I'm very much looking forward to that one. Next, I have The Sable Cloak by Gail, Milissa, Grant. I saw this on Instagram, and this is a new release as well. This blurb says, an eye-opening atmospheric novel set in the South and Midwest during the time of Jim Crow that follows the indomitable Sable family through many heartbreaks and triumphs. So this one, I remember, is about an affluent Black family, in like a Black family drama, and it's making me think of two books that I've read just from that like synopsis. I'm dropping all the books, girl. So the first one is The Davenports. This one is about, I think, where was this? It's Chicago, I think. It says it's in 1910. It says they're in the United States, but I'm pretty sure it's Chicago. Excuse me, I'm pretty sure it's Chicago if I remember correctly. But it's an affluent black family, and then it's actually more than one affluent Black family, and it's kind of like giving like London society times, where like the women are like coming out and they're looking for a suitor and a husband and all that stuff, and you know, it's the season or whatever, and then they're having like their own like little mini dramas between the love interests, like the civil rights of the times and things like that. And it's really like, I love seeing this take on like Black history, that there were nuggets of affluent black families. And it's just a crumb of light during this time. And I was disappointed by this book. So disappointed that I did not pick up the second one. The ending, the thorough, like the main part of the book, like most of it, I really liked. It was the ending, like the conclusion, I guess, for like probably all of the characters that we talked about. It was 4 main characters that we're following. I wasn't satisfied with any of them, and I'm sure that, like, I hope maybe in the second book, like, they wrapped it up and I would be happy or something. But like, I was kind of really mad that I didn't get the second one. Let me know if you read the second one and like, is it worth picking up? Because I'll read it. It was a very easy read. Like, I followed it. I very much enjoyed it up until I didn't. But I would recommend it. And the other book that is making me think of is Long After We Are Gone. This book is about a family, the Solomons. Their dad dies. He's the patriarch of the family, and he tells his son Junior to not let the white man take the house. Don't let the white man take the house. It's like the blurb at the top. And they own like a huge plot of land, like a huge mansion or estate, and like he is trying to protect their ancestral home, and the whole like siblings do and don't want to protect the ancestral home. They want to keep it, they want to sell it, each for like their own different reasons. But this is like a huge thing. It's not historical fiction, like it's set in like modern times, if I'm not mistaken, but it is a piece of history. It's a piece of their family legacy, and there's so much tied into it. And that's why like it was such a point to like want to save it. So I think these two, if you've read these two like I have, then this one probably sounds interesting as well. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then the last one I didn't go, all these other books I went into the store looking for and planning to buy. This last one, I've been meaning to like look into it a little bit more, and it either slips my mind or they didn't have it at the bookstore at the time, and they finally had it. It was a decent price for how big it is and how popular it is. And then, you know, you get your little extra 10% if you're like the Barnes & Noble premium member. But I picked up The Rage of Dragons. I was gonna say The Winter Dragon. I was like, that's not right. I think he has another one called Rage of Winter or something. He has a winter book, okay? But anyways, The Rage of Dragons by Evan. His name is Evan Winter. I knew that, okay? It's Friday, it's late. I ain't taking my contacts out. I ain't thinking straight, okay? You get me. So, anywho, Evan Winter, The Rage of Dragon. So what I did when I was in the store, I just picked this up, and sometimes I'll open the book to like a random page and like see if I can understand the writing style, especially because it is a fantasy. And it even says on the back, where did it say? Game of Thrones meets Gladiator and Evan Winter's The Rage of Dragons, a novel that started as a self-publishing sensation and has become one of the most acclaimed epic fantasy debuts of recent years. Now, if you know me, epic fantasy is a trigger word for me, okay? Because I'm just like, I very much don't see myself following. And I think I've ruined myself from epic fantasy because I started reading The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and baby, that is not where you want to start. So I was like, I don't know about epic fantasy. But what I did was I picked this up and I just read the prologue. It's nothing, but it's just probably like 2 total pages. So I read this in the store and I very much understood it. And it did grip me. Like, that's just short bit. And I'm curious to know like what happens, where this is going. And I hear that like the fantasy girlies and guys, like men who like to read, they love Evan Winter. They love the series and they just can't get enough of it. I think even my brother, who's not an avid reader, but he does, if he is going to read, he's going to read a fantasy, an epic fantasy. And I think even he says that he likes this book. And I don't know, like my brother and I aren't particularly like besties, but I think like if we could like buddy read a book, or like if I could read something that he's recommended or that he's like raved about, that would just be really sweet. So I want to get into this, and I do want to conquer fantasy. And you know what, after reading this, like the 2 pages that I read, this doesn't feel like it's gonna be a chore, or like, oh, okay, I better like get into fantasy, so I better pick up this fantasy book and like force myself to read it. Like, no, I'm actually interested to see like what happens. And there's dragons in this. If it doesn't, yeah, it literally says. I'm just speaking nonsense. But yes, that is my book haul. Let me pick up some of my little babies who just jumped off my reading chair. But I am really happy that my Barnes & Noble was like pretty stocked with all of the books that I had interest in immediately, except for the one. They did, but it sold out. And unfortunately, like, I think it was this one, the Sable Cloak. It has like a very obvious like loud eye-catching cover. So I was like, I'm hoping, because it is a new release, I think this one just came out on the 4th as well. I was hoping they had it front facing and I could recognize it, but no, it was in between other books, and this was the spine. Like, I really had to look for this book, and they only had 1 copy. So I know people say that it would be better, like the way to get more books that you're interested in, or books by Black authors, like into the bookstores, into your libraries, is to request them and to pre-order. And I've literally never pre-ordered a single freaking thing ever, like not even just a book. I've never pre-ordered anything, and I'm like, it's just not that deep to me. Like, even with the books, like, it's not that deep for me to have it like the day it comes out, and like, because I'm not going to read it the day it comes out, so like, why am I going through all this extra stuff? But just me being in there today, like, and this was the only one. The other book that I wanted, I'm pretty positive that was probably the only one, and that's why that one's like sold out. They did have lots of copies of Harlem, Rhapsody, and Junie though, so I was glad to see that. I think they probably had like 5 of these and 3 of these. This was the only one of this one, so I am very grateful that they had it in stock. But I think moving forward, I would consider pre-ordering some books that are on my radar, and especially by Black authors in my local bookstore, because they do carry them. It's just they don't carry a lot. And do I feel bad about taking the one of one? No, but I want it to be available and accessible to more than just me, because I'm gonna get mine, right? And I don't want you to have to go to Amazon, all right? But God forbid the Amazon. But anywho, this is my book haul. I'm so happy that I went. Like, I actually very much needed that. And now that I have my books, I'm going to sit in my reading chair. I'm not going to read one of these because I just want to give Product of the Street the time that it deserves. But I'm just going to cozy up, man, and like relax. I've had such a long week. I know I've said that several times, but if you know, you know. How do you guys unwind? I assume it's probably like with a book, or like maybe spending time with your family, or like maybe playing video games or something. Like, how do you guys like make it day to day and not just like waiting until Friday or waiting until the weekend? Because like, that's literally what I did this week. Other than like one day when I picked up that book, I've just been counting down the minutes to the weekend. And now that it's here, like, I really just want time to slow the heck down so that like I have time to read all of my new books and like watch Grey's Anatomy and Game of Thrones, which I've been watching Game of Thrones lately, and it's been a while since I watched it. That's a show, like a comfort show, as like gory and crazy as it is. That is one of my comfort shows, and I've watched it probably like 6 times all the way through. I know. But it's just, my stress and anxiety is like is calling for like the major comfort things. Like I've even been watching Disney movies again, and I'm a huge Disney fan, but like I haven't like actually sat down and like had like Disney marathons. I've been doing that. So I just want to know like how you guys unwind and like make it like on a day-to-day or whatever. So yes, I think I am going to end it here. I was going to tell you guys about some of my favorite reads from January because I didn't do a wrap up. It's already the 7th of February and I'm like, the time has passed. I didn't do a December wrap up. I didn't do a January wrap up, but if you didn't know, I post reviews of every book that I read in real time on my Goodreads. Also this year for 2025, I have been using both Storygraph and Fable and Goodreads just because I want to spend more time with those other apps, so that I can see for myself which one that I prefer and which one that I want to like hone in on and like spend time with. So maybe 2026 I might just like go back down to one, or it really isn't an inconvenience to have all three. Do I spend time on all three? No, but I post my reviews on all three right now. So let me know down below which like book platform, book social media, if you will, do you use or do you prefer? Have you tried anything besides Goodreads? I don't dislike Goodreads, but I know some people do, and like, I don't know, it didn't do anything to me. It's very like user friendly. I think Fable's very user friendly. I know Storygraph is a Black woman owned, so I definitely give that one some love. I hear at the end of the year, like Storygraph has really good like stats and like charts and details and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I wonder if they have like monthly ones. I can look for my January one. But at this point, I'm just rambling because I'm getting tired, and I also feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long. Like I just need to catch up. I need to catch up with my book girlies. But I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna sit in my reading chair and cozy up with Product of the Streets. And I will talk to you guys later. If you want to see any of these books in a reading vlog, let me know and I will do that for you guys. I would say if you want to see any of my February TBR in a reading vlog, but I didn't make a February TBR. So yeah, so if you want to see any of the books from this haul in a reading vlog, here they are again. That one's kind of hiding. If you want to see any of these in a reading vlog, let me know and I will do that for you guys because we all had a good time on the last one. So this one didn't really go as according to plan because I don't think it was the right book, but these ones might be. I'm leaning towards Rage of Dragons. Are you guys into fantasy? If you're into fantasy, like maybe Rage of Dragons might be the move. I don't know, maybe Harlem Rhapsody. Like I can do like Harlem Rhapsody and then rereading Love Song for a While. Like that might be fun. And the rest of these are like very much like perfect for February. I didn't get them for like Black History Month because I always buy blackety black books. If you can't tell by my shelves, like they're very black. And that's just something I prioritize. That's something, it's not even necessarily a mindful prioritization. It's just where my soul and spirit and interest call me to. Like I just absolutely love the representation and I feel so seen and so validated in my experiences and my ideas and my insecurities and my beauty and everything. Like I just love Black stories. So these are just, I feel like they probably released them this month because they're very Black history focused. So if you want me to read any of these, or this one even, or obviously, like I said, Evan Winter, y'all could surprise me and be like, we want to see some fantasy from you, girl. So let me know which one you want to read or which ones, and I will do that for you guys because I just love I just love the real time like reactions and stuff. I'm rambling, I'm so sorry, but I'll let you guys go, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this style of video, I don't know what this style of video is. I don't even know what I'm